Okay, y'all, here we are. Don't mind my hair. I just finished taking my hair down because they just called me to see if I can come for surgery tomorrow. Say hey, Jelly. So today is Thursday, February the 2nd. Surgery was scheduled for Tuesday, February the 7th. And so I was going to wait to do my hair. Monday night. Okay. And so tomorrow's surgery, I'm nervous, but at the same time, I'm happy to get it done and get it all over with because I have been in pain for so long, because I've been struggling to just do anything for so long. So I'm going to be doing everybody's hair tonight. I am not going to record it because I'm rushing. But I will kind of give y'all like kind of a rundown of what actually happened to my leg / ankle, whatever. So this is February 2023. So back in July 2022, I fell. It was late at night, and so I decided to just go to bed. I didn't even finish my shower. I went to bed because I was in that much pain. So the next day, Brandon had went to work, and I was like, I have got to go get checked out because I couldn't walk on my ankle, my leg. I couldn't do anything. My leg, my foot, everything was swollen. I thought I had broken something, so I went to like a walk-in clinic here in town, and they did an x-ray and didn't see anything wrong. So they was like, oh, it's probably just nerve damage. So what we'll do is we'll just wait a few days. It should get better. Actually, they didn't say it was nerve damage. They was just like, oh, it's just a high ankle sprain is what they said. So they was like, a few days, you should be feeling better. Just ice it and keep it wrapped up. This is only the ankle. They never looked at my knee after the x-ray or anything. So fast forward a week later, because they were like, if you still have pain or problems in a week, you probably need to go see ortho. So I went to ortho a week later because it wasn't getting any better. Everything was getting worse. So I went to ortho, and I wanted them to do an MRI. From the first visit, I wanted them to do an MRI because I know that MRI shows things that the x-ray does not. So the doctor refused. I'm not going to say he refused, just flat out refused. But I implied that I wanted an MRI, but it didn't happen. He was just like, I don't think, we need to do that right now. Now, this is the beginning of August by this time. It's the beginning of August. And so he said it was the high ankle sprain along with some nerve damage because my leg above the ankle on the outside of my shin was so tender to touch. Like you couldn't even, you could barely just rub it. And it hurt so bad. I had tingling in my leg, and I had, it kind of felt like the pins and needles in my leg. And so it just hurt. I don't know how else to explain it, but it was so painful. They gave me a boot. So I was in a boot because they tried to put an ankle brace on, but where the ankle brace stopped is where the majority of my pain was. And my foot was so swollen, they couldn't get it on. My foot and ankle was so swollen, they couldn't get it on. So they gave me a boot instead. So the boot came up to my knee, right up under my knee. And I was in that boot from I want to say July 31st or something like that. I was in that boot until
100 days.
October or November. I don't remember. And so, so I was in that boot for quite a long time. Okay, so I don't know. Thank you. I don't know where I left off, but I gotta take this hair down too, so I can wash it. So I was in a boot. Stop, y'all. I was in a boot from July to the end of July, beginning of August till about November. I want to say that maybe the end of November. I'm not sure. And so they took me out of the boot because I was continuously complaining about pain in my knee. And they thought it was because of I was in the boot for so long, because my knee pain was getting a lot worse. I mean, like, I started having like clicking, like when I would walk, my knee would click, which I had it before. When I had the boot on, and I mentioned it to a few people. Be quiet. And I mentioned it to a few people, like doctors. So I went to the clinic. So we're gonna keep track of how many doctors. So I went to the clinic. That was the first physician that I saw. Then I went to ortho. That was the second physician that I saw. And then after my knee pain, and I wasn't getting any better after physical therapy or anything, my physical therapist suggested that I got a second opinion. So that was the third doctor. Now the second opinion, I only went to a foot and ankle doctor. So she really doesn't count as an actual doctor that ignored my, symptoms, because she doesn't do knees. Okay, she only does foot and ankle. Even though she has helped with my foot and my ankle issues that I was having, I still have pain in those areas. But so that's 3, I think. So like I said, I was having these clicking in my knee. Stop, baby. Be still. I was having this clicking in my knee when I walked. Every time my leg goes forward, it would click, 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 click. Well, when I'm at home, when I would be at home, I started having issues where when I didn't have my boot on, I would be walking and it would pop, not click, it would pop. My leg from the knee down would get cold and then I would fall. And so that's when I realized something was wrong. So I scheduled a separate appointment, another appointment with another ortho person to look at my knee. Because I just didn't want to go back to the same doctor. I went to the same facility, but I just didn't want to go back to the same doctor that I initially saw, because he kind of just, not to say, I don't know how to say, he kind of just like swept my symptoms under the rug. Like it's nothing. It's just gonna take some time. Now, mind you, I was already doing physical therapy. I did physical therapy for my ankle, and then I started physical therapy on my knee. Now, my physical therapist, the first one, I had 2 because she went on maternity leave, but my first physical therapist, I was telling her about my knee, and she would do massages on my knee to help with the pain, because obviously, nobody knew anything was wrong with my knee. Get out of here. Okay. So, fast forward to November. Shortly after I got out of the boot, I went to see a separate doctor. Well, it was before I got out of the boot. I went to see another doctor in the same facility, and he was like, well, I don't see anything wrong with your stability or your mobility or your range of motion, but he was like, we can do 2 things, because I knew I had a joint effusion, which is just fluid on the knee. That's what they could tell that from the x-ray. And so they just thought it was just the inflammation that was causing the problems. Well, when I went to this other doctor, he was like, well, you've been doing physical therapy. We can do a MRI if you want, and that'll tell us more of what could possibly be going on here. Because when I tell you I was falling, I was like, I had no control. And so I, yes, baby. Right here. Oh, yeah, I know. And so it would just be random, just at random times. It would just pop and I would fall. Luckily, it never happened when I was in public. I decided to go ahead and do the MRI because I had already met my deductible for the year and it wasn't going to cost me any extra out of pocket. So we did the MRI. First it took like 3 weeks to get the MRI. And then we finally got the MRI, and then it took another 2 weeks. It took another 2 weeks to get back in with the results. Now I signed up for like the patient portal so that I can see my results as soon as it popped up, and I knew then that something wasn't right because it was like 4 things listed of what they found that was in that was not great. So I didn't jump to conclusions. I wanted to wait until I talked to the doctor for sure to have a definite diagnosis of what was going on. So he came in and he was like, well, we found some things that I didn't expect to find. So when he said that, I knew what he was talking about. So I have the joint effusion. I have a torn meniscus and a torn ACL in my knee. So I've been walking around in pain since July. All the doctors that I saw never thought to try to do an MRI or anything like that. But that's what I wanted in the beginning, and nobody was able to do that. And so, I got scheduled for surgery. Like I said, surgery was supposed to be next week, but they're gonna do it tomorrow, which is why I'm taking hair down. I took my hair down. I have to take Javad's hair down and wash everybody's hair tonight and braid them tonight, including my own. I'll probably just do twists for my own. I will keep you guys posted. I'll try to record as much as I can from surgery. I'll have Brandon do some recording. I'll try to get him to do it. If he remembers to record, like after surgery, before, stuff like that, then I'll include that in this video. If not, no, don't cut it off. It's cold outside. It's cold outside. But if you cut the car off, the heat's gonna cut off. So yeah. So I will also include so I had to do like 6 weeks of PT before they could even schedule surgery. I had to do 6 weeks of PT, and then I had to go back to see him. Oh, I missed this part. So the doctor that ordered the MRI and I did the follow-up appointment with, he told me that what I had, the things that I had. So I had the torn meniscus, the torn ACL. I have a, I think he said a crack or something in my kneecap. I'm not sure. But he informed me that he would not be the one to do the surgery. So I had to see the surgeon. And guess who the surgeon was? The first orthopedic doctor that I seen, who didn't believe anything was wrong with my leg. So of course, when I show up in his office that same day, because I saw him the same day while I was there, he's like, oh, hey, what happened? And I was like, hey, I'm back. And I didn't want to like tell him, I didn't want to say, oh, I wish you should have listened to me at first when I told you something was wrong. I didn't want to go in there like that. So I went at it as, I said, I'm back. I said, I don't know what happened. I think maybe the inflammation from my ankle and my lower leg kind of went down and the pain kind of got better. I started having more pain in my knee, and it prompted me to see a doctor. Because obviously I've been in pain the whole time, but yeah. So yeah, I was in pain the whole time, and I didn't want him to be digging all in my knee, knowing that I felt this kind of way, about how he treated me as a patient. I don't want to say it was just him as being that's how he is. I truly believe maybe he didn't think anything was wrong. I don't know, but I just felt like if I'm that tender to touch, I just felt like you should have took a better approach and ordered more tests on my entire leg. Like I wish I would have had my entire leg MRI, because I did have an MRI of my foot. My foot and ankle doctor ordered that. I had some torn tendons and ligaments in my ankle and my foot, as well as inflammation. and fluid. I still have that. So she's hoping that once surgery is done, and because I won't be on my feet as much, then all that can kind of subside. But I do have a follow-up appointment with her for after surgery to see how things have healed. Hopefully we don't have to go back into surgery for anything down there. And how I believe you should always be your own advocate. I know it took me some time to get what I needed, but at the same time, I got it taken care of. And if you believe something is wrong with you and your doctor isn't ordering tests or whatever, keep going around and trying to find somebody who's going to actually listen to you. Because stop, baby, stop. Because I don't know if it's even. I don't know if the time that I've waited, the length of time that it's taken. Because I will say, over the last few months, my quad has gotten. I'm not gonna tell them something. No, you're gonna wait. I don't know over the last few months that I didn't seek treatment or have treatment or anything. I don't know if that caused my quads to get weak, because I haven't been walking and I haven't been doing a lot of things because it hurts. So I don't know. Maybe if they would have found this when it first happened. And then that's another thing. I had already met my deductible, so surgery would have been 100% covered by my insurance company. But now I'm having to pay out of pocket for my surgery because it is the beginning of the year. So that's it. I think that's all. Obviously, if I think of something else, I have some pictures because I had to do 6 weeks of PT to strengthen my quad back up. So I have pictures. I have some videos of me going to PT and some things like that. And when I tell y'all it was a struggle, it was a struggle. Things that I thought was easy to do, not at all. Not with that leg. But yeah, I'll keep y'all up to date on my progress and recovery. So, thank you for watching, as usual.
Thank you for not subscribing.
Thank you for subscribing if you have. If you want to be notified.
Subscribing.